Hello ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the final and last video blog of Christmas once again. I apologize for the lateness of this video due to holiday gathering and events. Nonetheless, this video is still very important because it will allow you, our dear supporters, to understand how the generous resources you have provided us has been put into good use. Now in this video, you will get to see some footages and pictures of the day of the event, some interviews with the homeless themselves, ending off with some words from the organizers. Now without further ado, let's watch. Christmas, for many of us, marks a time of celebration and relaxation with family and friends. But for the homeless, Christmas often marks one of the toughest times of the year, especially in Toronto. For this reason, on December 21st, 2014, a team of volunteers of the event, Christmas Once Again, was out and about on the street of downtown Toronto, distributing gift bags and other goods gathered by donations from the community. Under the guidance of founders and organizers Roy Wong and Edward Choi, a team of 11 volunteers distributed 40 gift bags to the homeless living out on the streets. They started out meeting at a local Tim Hortons in the Ryerson University campus. And after a welcoming and briefing session about safety and protocols, they dispersed from there to various designated zones. This year, aside from only giving out the goods, the organizers also made an effort of chatting and interviewing some of their clients in order to gather more information on ways to help the homeless improve their situation and things that are needed to brave the winter colds.
Number one, you need boots. You need socks, underwear. Those are the three most important things.
Socks, underwear, boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Besides your gloves, sure.
Yeah.
So boots are
like last night,
important.
I slept in that corner right there.
Yeah.
And it was like with the wind down here coming off the lake of -20.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've ever been outside at -20 and your body starts to sting and you're numb and it's like frostbite.
Yeah.
But you certainly know what it's all about, right? When you can barely move.
Yeah.
Drink to get your feet.
To get a perspective,
Get the
Everybody on the street is on the street for different reasons.
Okay.
Doesn't make any individual a bad person.
Of course,
If they have addictions, that's fine too, because life's not always fair to everybody, and it's definitely not fair to a lot.
Yeah.
Many may have wondered, if there are so many facilities such as shelters in Toronto, why are people still living out on the streets? Luckily, one of the clients, Carl, was able to provide some point of views to this issue.
Now, may I ask why, is there any other reasons why you wouldn't want to stay at shelter? Aside from,
The obvious reasons?
Yeah.
You ever
Yeah.
been to one? Have you been to Maxwell Megan or those places? You should go look at those.
Yeah.
And you figure out why you wouldn't want to stay there. Okay? And that's why I don't want to stay there.
Yeah.
Okay? You get no money.
Yeah.
They take your money. You have nothing to live on. They take your money away because they need money for your housing at the shelter. So how do I get an apartment? Now that creates a cycle of poverty, right? You're stuck in the shelter, your money's cut off, you have no income. How do you get a place? At least out here they have to pay me my monthly allowance. I can still get a place. I save up 2 months. Organizations providing the service, they've given the majority of the shelter money to the Salvation Army. They've turned control of the shelter system over the Salvation Army, and they like that control because they get a lot of money, right? And I'll tell you now, they feed you scraps. Okay, they don't buy their food that they feed these people in the shelters. It's donated by big companies like Arcadian. The stadiums, when they have ball games and hockey games, they send their leftover food to the shelter again.
Maybe one.
But you're also dealing with people in that system. You're dealing with people with extreme addiction, mental health problems, physical illnesses, right? That they can't cope with any kind of responsibility, right? You can't put anything on them to do on their own because they can't. I don't know. I'm not going to a shelter. That's the one thing that I will not do.
One thing we should go and take a look at, understand the situation.
Yeah. You see how dirty it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they have so much to cope with. And they use expressions like, well, we only have so much money in our budget. Well, no, they don't. Okay? That's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Because Maxwell Megan, that center donate it. Okay, Salvation Army pays nothing for that.
What if
give
we
them
give
gifts.
things to the shelter?
If you give things to the shelter, that works too, because the shelter does distribute. Okay, understand that. If you give them used items, they will put them out for everybody to take. Okay, to help themselves. If you give new items to a place like the Salvation Army, they take them and put them in storage sheds. Okay, I have to tell you that. It's just how it is. Yes. Canadian Tire donated 1,000 sleeping bags to the Salvation Army, and they hoarded them, and then the rats ate them.
The organizers thanked Carl for his time and input and continued on with their journeys.
Hello.
This year, the organization was able to raise approximately 700 Canadian dollars for the cause through various mediums such as word of mouth, local donation boxes, an online crowdfunding campaign, and video blogs on social media websites. As such, the event was able to provide more expensive items such as blankets and scarves, which were very much appreciated by the homeless. Part of this year's funds also went towards purchasing goods for Covenant House, the largest homeless youth agency in Canada. After dropping off the items at Covenant House, the organizers wrapped up the event by sharing some of their experiences and thoughts for this year's event.
And we're at Covenant House right now. We just dropped off 60 pairs of undergarments, mittens, and other personal hygiene products to the largest homeless shelter in the Toronto area.
The largest youth.
Yes, largest youth homeless shelter in the area. And today we just finished giving out 40 gift bags to the homeless in downtown Toronto. We had 11 volunteers helping us out today, and we split them out in 3 groups. So they all did a great job. The first group finished in an hour. The second, which is really impressive.
It is, yeah. Our event, we planned to have 2.5 hours of time, but they were able to finish it before the halfway mark.
Yes, and the second group had a good experience, had a good time with the homeless people, and chatted with them as well, sang music with them, so that was quite interesting.
Yeah, they say like one of the person that had a soprano saxophone with them. So after they gave the gift, they were giving, in return, the homeless person gave them a performance of a Christmas song. So I think that's really sweet, like the interaction that we're able to gain with the homeless, just building some relationship, right? Not just a give and give back, see you, bye now kind of thing.
Yeah, and we, our group, we did the very much same thing. We handed out gift bags, and also we talked a bit with the homeless to see what ideas we can get from them, information about them, what they think about our program, and how else we can help them.
Exactly. So some of the things we asked about to the homeless we encountered is the ways in which they feel we can help as a community to improve the current situation. Whether it is in the shelter, the gifts that we're giving, and our clients are able to give a lot of input, very valuable input and perspective to us about the issue of homelessness. Because what we see as regular people from the outside is very different from what they actually encounter. So we're able to learn a lot about the event, or about their situation rather, through that talk there. So we have some footages there. We're going to be sharing those footages. We've got permission as well. So for you to learn more about homelessness and their situation from their end as well.
And how we can help in the future.
Exactly. So that's it, guys, for COA Christmas Once Again 2014. Our
The eighth time.
I know.
Yeah.
Almost a decade soon, guys. But thank you once again for all of our volunteers, donors, all the friends that have supported us through gifts, money, and just all kinds of mediums.
And we hope to see you next year.
Exactly. So, Christmas soon, so let it be Christmas.
Let it be Christmas once again. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone. See you. As we learn and can see from this year's video, homelessness is a much more complex issue than what most of us understand it to be. There are many personal forces at play, at the same time a lot of flaws and politics within the system that prevents the homeless from getting the proper help.
Homelessness may or may not ever be resolved as a social issue. But what we can do as a community is to provide some help and support to those that are in need, which is the spirit of co-op. Now here, I'm gladly announcing the sign-off of this year's event and it being a very successful year. I thank you once again for all the donors and friends and family that have supported us in various means. And here, I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year and a prosperous 2015. See you next year. Bye for now.